retard, retard, retard.
Welcome back. Here we are in Microsoft Flight Sim. Just gonna file the flight plan real quickly. That is filed. Nick, thank you so much. So Nick Fox coming in with 11 months on YouTube. Thank you so much for that, Nick. I hope you're doing well. And here we are. Now let's see, before I start anything, let me see if that parking spot is blocked or not. Oh, there we go. Lovely. Oh, wow. There's a lot of aircraft there. That's interesting. Hey, Ted Barker. How are you doing? Nice to see you, Ted. How are you doing? And let's see. Kularis is back. Hey, and Afgas. Hello to you as well. And Wieland or Wieland Soul. Asymmetric flaps failure. I mean, we can see if we can do something en route. Giftswerk at the moment, it looks more like the 787. They seem to have reduced the amount of trainings on 747 for some reason, so unfortunately, yeah, not 747, but hey, I mean, yeah, I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie. So it's just a matter of when that will happen. What's options? Control options. So let's see. Is that the Phoenix? No, it's not. That's fine. Oh, we're gonna do FS2 crew. Yes, please. Yeah. We will do that. So let's do that. So there we go. Cool. Excellent. Way better, anyways. Yeah, I mean, the intriguing thing is about the 787 that it's a completely new aircraft for me. So you know, very nice, high technology level, so definitely something to look forward to. Right, now, I have to admit, when you come from X-Plane 12 and the toll is, and you get here into the Phoenix, boy, it is a difference, isn't it? So in live weather, winds 250 at 4, it says. Okay, that's interesting. Actually, let me get the overlay chatbot working. Alrighty. Well, I mean, I wish seriously that quality wings would come into Microsoft, but we've not heard anything anymore, have we? So 1010 on the QNH. All right. Let me see what I can do. So EFB. Let's go and load the flight plan, etc., etc. So the flight time to Sofia is an hour, exactly an hour. Perfect. Level 370 is filed. Oh yeah, you mean P3D? Yeah. I've already Giftswerk. I've already flown the quality wings like last week or 10 days ago or something like that. It's 8:25, so let's do this at 09:15. What? Oh, 26. Sorry. So we're going to do this at 0850. 24 minutes, that's better. Ground services. Let's go for... No, not full stairs, aft stairs. Cargo open. Good. Let's go. Mass and balance. Oh, they'll let me go into ATSU. First of all, ATSU AOC menu, flight init. Request the data. So we should have windmill 71 Bravo, departing Zagreb, arriving Sofia. Alternate is Bucharest. We don't need that. It's fine. Hey, Sapphire Wave, how are you doing? Nice to see you. So let's load the aircraft. Let's do that fast. So we want 6.1 tons of fuel. And let's have a look at the ATIS. Currently we have... Let's try that again. So 2503. It says departure runway in use 22. QNH 1010. It says, yeah, 1010 is correct. Let's set that here as well. 1010. We have filed the departure. JD, nice to see you. Is it really? Avatar's way too long. Well, my daughters wanted to watch that with us. I guess it's going to be in February, but... Hey, Frank. Well, that was an error. That's like a bug, and they told us at the moment. So, yeah. There was no vertical speed indication anymore. The autopilot did really crazy stuff. So, but there's no fault message. I checked the failures in X-Plane as well, and there was no failures there either. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have... Why is that? Hang on, let me just check something. G-Force experience. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. So you can't use the... Alright. So we're expecting runway 22 with the MOSAF 1 departure. So we call windmill 71 Bravo. Cost index, probably right about 5 or something. Yeah, 6 this time, okay. So, cost index 6. Level 370, and the temperature up there is minus 63. That's pretty cold at the moment. Minus 63. Hey!
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Let's do
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium
and we are
flight
expecting
entertainment will be served.
60.5.
Thank you.
It's a refuel weight. Team Jordan, thank you so much for coming in with a 46-month resub. That's a long time. Thank you so much for the 46. I hope you're doing well, Team Jordan. Thank you so much. Frank, you had an issue with the CL650 today. It crashed on arrival, and autosave is doing crash job. Everything will be fine. Well, I've already finished the flight. The flight itself was all right. Just gonna do that 6.2. So the flight itself was all right. It's just the toll list that acted up for some reason. So we have got Bucharest 1.3 tons, alternate fuel 1.3. Final time, that's fine. Wind uplink is good. Got a bit of extra fuel. So departure 2-2 with the Mosav 1 Victor departure. And then Sofia. I think I saw ATIS for Sofia, did I? ATIS 09. Okay, so straight in 09. Well, that's gonna expedite things a bit. And then by the Nisva arrival, so it should be 4 Delta then. Yeah, and then approach via Bengo. Right, let's have a look. So let's go plan mode. Yeah, so this is the really nasty arrival because you rarely fly that that arrival route completely. So you get direct at some point, and then you are, you know, really high in the approach. So you've got to be careful with that. Who knows? Maybe I don't know how busy it's going to be once we arrive at Sofia. We shall have a look. Tower is 18.3. Doesn't have CP DLC, no. So we'll go and get a clearance before we do anything else. Zagreb Tower, good evening to you. Windmill, that's Oscar Echo Oscar 71 Bravo. Information Foxtrot requesting clearance please to Sofia. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, that should be right.
Bearings 2976, reduce to minimum approach speed. Break, Oscar Kilo Bravo, expedite vacate.
Viva, expedite vacate, Oscar Kilo Bravo.
Thank you.
Yeah, mid-bomb, bearings 2976.
Bearings 276, second.
Say again, your wings 2976?
I said, say again to your last transmission, say again.
We are minimum approach speed, your wings 2976.
Say again, say again, say again.
Tower, good evening, this is Transavia 52 Yankee Hyper.
Say again.
Bearings 2976, wind calm runway 22, clear to land.
Clear to land, 10822.
Oscar Kilo Bravo, thank you for the expedited vacate. Welcome back to Zagreb, taxis to the General Aviation 8 via Foxtrot.
No worries, so thank you for welcoming. So, and confirm general aviation on the right.
Affirm that is the General Aviation.
Thank you very much. So sorry about that, we are in VR, so this is the right why I don't have chart. Thank you.
Oh, that's very cool actually. Thank you, bye-bye.
Zagreb Tower, good evening. Windmill 71 Bravo, info Foxtrot requesting clearance. Sofia, please.
Windmill 71 Bravo, sorry about the delay. Clear to Sofia, most have 1 Victor departure, initial altitude 6,000 feet, squawk 5226, information Foxtrot.
Yeah, we have Foxtrot cleared to Sofia, Mosav 1 Victor departure, thank you, climbing 6,000 and squawk 5226, Windmill 71 Bravo.
Windmill 71 Bravo, read back correct. Break your wings to 976, welcome to Zagreb taxi stand Echo
So,
4 via Foxtrot
set.
and Hotel.
So we did get the Mosav 1 Victor departure.
Thank you, your wings 2976.
So
All stations stand by, controllers change your progress.
okay, nice. So that means they're going to be online for a little bit longer, which is great. So we're parked here at the airport.
Sofia, please.
Transavia 52 Yankee,
completed.
Tower hello. Clear to Sofia via Mosav 1 Victor departure, initial altitude 6,000 feet, squawk 5275.
Sofia, Mosav 1 Victor, 6,000.
So Mosav 1 Victor departure up to 6,000 feet. So it's going to go.
Correct, all stations stand by for controller change new information.
Okay, so Zulu Alpha 901. 2 miles from Lima Uniform Kilo, left turn Zulu Alpha 904. 8,000 below, and then Mosaf at 6,000 above. So 904 Mosaf.
No, Yankee.
Correct. So that's all correctly programmed. So init A page, init B page,
went the wrong direction.
and let's have a look if we've got the final
Your left is not occupied.
load sheet here, received messages, load sheet, that's still preliminary, so wait for the final load sheet. That's all set. Flight plan page is filled out, we have no discontinuities in there. Distance 422. And on the flight plan we have 422, exactly same distance, so that matches nicely. And then transition is 10,000, it says. Yeah, 10,000, we got NDP1, and 2-2 is just straight ahead to Exxon to hold. So that's all fine. Right, so NDP2 means 1860, 3360, and the acceleration is 1900 feet.
Oh,
so return plan. With that wind, actually, I'm going to call in an emergency if we have an engine failure.
All stations on stations for real now, stand by for control change.
So then we've got 04 for landing, so we don't have to do a full pattern. That's a lot quicker for the return, and then we're just going to use Lima Delta Zulu Alpha 22. Track is going to be 223 degrees. And until Exxon to hold. Yoda, I mean, that new Metapilot video, did you ever have to change a switch like that on the yoke? The trim switch. Is that something you already had to do as well in real life? No, okay. They barely fail, okay. That's interesting, huh? That's some interesting, because it sounded from the Mentapilot video, it sounded like, you know, it would happen randomly, or actually more often. It's kind of strange. Hey Brendan, when Yankee or X-ray, Yankee Zulu approaches are available, which one should we select in Phoenix? Normally, it's always the highest letter that starts. So the Zulu approaches normally are the ones that are being used first. If you are on VATSIM, for example, you normally get a info on the ATIS saying which approaches are in use, and the latest the approach controller should give you then a approach clearance or the tower controller regarding, you know, either Zulu or Yankee. I have made a video, Brendan. I've made a video on these different approaches, Zulu and so on YouTube. So if you want to have a look at that, feel free. So performance. So final load sheet is here. Runway 22. Live weather, but we'll put this at 10 degrees. And Embraer already gave out modification, okay. In 2015. Right, unfortunately, we don't have an intersection departure info.
1207.
Seriously, we don't have any intersections. So Delta would be best, but we can't select it. 2-2. Oh, that's a shame. So we've got to take full length. Good. So we've got 64 flex, flaps 1 down, 0.3.
Zagreb tower ready,
Windmill 7 on Bravo, read you 5x5.
Thank you, sir.
So, 64. And that was down 0.3. 1494951. Full length. Okay, load sheet is here, so let's enter the data. So 60.4 it is, with a trim of 30 exactly. 6.2 is the fuel. So takeoff weight should be 66.3. That looks good. That's all set. Return. Right. Oh, and hold on. Apparently, come on. Let's just get the hard key. Apparently, there is a new voice setup available. Let me just check something. Matthias. Let's try Matthias, shall we? Let's see what he's like. So I don't... Hey, forward, good to be. Are you ready for the departure brief? Go ahead. No, that's still me! Oh, echo, disregard. Right, we are departing Zagreb, runway 22 on the Mozaf 1 Victor departure. Initial climb 6,000 feet, and sector around the airport is as follows: 5,400 in the northern part, eastern part 2,600, and southern part 3,200. And extra fuel is round about, well, the OFP says something different. The OFP says that the extra fuel should be around half an hour, 1.2 tons. So that should get better once we're airborne. Taxi out, I don't see any major hotspots, and unfortunately we don't have intersection takeoff, so we're going to take takeoff. Well, Echo is fine. I mean, normally would go all the way, but Echo should be fine then for us. Stop margin will be more than 1,000 meters, so not critical at all. And in case of engine failure, straight out runway track to the point Exxon. That's right on the center line there, and there into the hold. Engine acceleration is in 1,900 feet. And then we'll clean up the aircraft, get radar vectors, and then we'll go for an approach runway 04. Back into Zagreb. Weather is not critical at all. Nothing is... well, I would say everything's standard, nothing non-standard. And threats. Guys, do you see any threats? Love the heat blur. Lovely. Right, yeah, I don't see any threats that we need to mitigate today, so all good. Any questions?
No questions.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
6,120 kilograms balanced.
Seatbelts.
On.
ADIRS.
NAF.
Baro ref.
Kinich 1010 set.
1010 set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
So guys, how's this then? Is this better, or, you know, so you guys don't think I have an echo in the cockpit or my twin brother with me? VR is 149, 151, 149. Take it from way 22, thrust. Pushback required, threats none. Transition 10,000. Alright. Packs off takeoff, fantastic, cool. The Miko. How can that even possibly be? Because, you know, I'm so handsome, look. Right,
Welcome
anyways.
aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Yeah, caramba.
For new subscribers, please
Andale,
make
andale.
your way to the first class
Arriba, arriba.
cabin, where
Right, so
complimentary
let's go.
drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Before start
Hello,
checklist.
hello, and
Parking
happy
brake.
New Year.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
V1 149, VR 149, V2 151, flex temp 64. Sound check.
V1 149 VR 149 V2 151 flex temp 64 degrees. Windows.
Closed.
Beacon.
On.
Before start checklist completed.
Nice. So let's request a pushback here, shall we? Windmill 7-1 Bravo, stand, it doesn't say that here. We're ready for push and start, please.
Windmill 71 Bravo, push set approved, facing west, dial Greenwich 1010.
Push and start approved, facing west, and Greenwich 1010, Windmill 7-1 Bravo. Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Oscar 3, nära hop up.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brake released.
Pushing back.
So facing west.
You are cleared behind A. Start your engines at your discretion.
Thank you. So we check the fuel pumps are on. Starting engine 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Christopher, exactly. Not talk to myself anymore. It's taken a while, but it's good to see some more voice sets coming in. So, starting engine 1.
Okay.
Hey Lee, welcome back. Stop pushback.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, all portable electronic equipment and mobile phones should be switched off as we are now about to start
Brakes are
our
set.
pre-flight safety briefing.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the left side with the pin.
As this information is for your benefit,
Clear
we ask
to
you
disconnect.
watch and listen carefully.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Safety card in your seat area shows details of escape routes,
Zagreb
oxygen
520,
masks,
taxi
and life
to
jackets.
Echo, runway
It also shows the bracing position,
via
which you must stop in an emergency landing.
runway
On the main deck, there are 2 exits at the rear of the first class cabin and 2 at the front and rear of each other cabin. On the upper deck, there is an emergency exit on each side in the middle of the cabin. In the unlikely event of having
Flight
to
control
use the
check.
escape slide, leave all hand baggage behind
Flight
and
control
remove
check.
high-heeled shoes
Ready.
as they may tear the
Full up.
slide.
Full down.
Welcome aboard the Captain
Please
Black
now
Box
ensure
Neutral.
that your
YouTube
table
channel
is
Full left.
subscriber
away.
experience.
Your
Full
seatbelt
right.
is
Could new
upright,
subscribers
the
please
armrest
make their
down,
way
Neutral.
to
and
the
your
first class
seatbelt
cabin,
fastened.
where complimentary drinks,
Seatbelt
snacks,
Full
and
left.
premium
and
flight
adjusted like
entertainment
Full
will be
right.
served.
Neutral.
Thank you.
Unfastened like this.
Amazing Maze, thank you much for
When
the
fasten seatbelt
YouTube
signs are
membership.
on, you must go
Much
back to your
appreciated.
seat and
I
fasten
hope you're
your
doing well.
seatbelt
Happy New Year.
securely. For your own comfort and safety, we recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times and visible to avoid being disturbed in flight. If the cabin air supplies fail, oxygen will be provided. Masks like this will
After
appear
start checklist.
automatically.
Anti-ice.
Stay in your seat
Off.
and pull a mask towards
Ecam
you.
status.
Checked.
This will open your oxygen
Pitch trim.
supply. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this.
28%.
And breathe normally, adjusting the band.
Bravo, Oscar Golf.
Set checked.
Rudder trim.
Neutral.
After start checklist completed.
Your life jacket is underneath or beside your seat.
Wind 7 more Bravo,
In the event
request
of
taxi.
landing on water, remove the life jacket from its container and
One
put it
minute
over
7
your
1
head.
Bravo, taxi 20 Echo,
Fasten tapes around
runway
your waist and
22,
tie them
Mike Charlie,
securely in a double
Hotel
bow at the side.
Mike, Charlie, Hotel Foxtrot, holding point Echo, runway 22, wind
The air
7 more
can be
Bravo.
topped up by using the mouthpiece. There is a whistle here for attracting
Clear left
attention.
side.
Clear right side.
Do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside the aircraft. We will supply life cots for babies and life jackets for infants.
Load 225 Victor,
Finally,
Zagreb
ladies and
Tower,
gentlemen,
добрый вечер, continue
please
approach
study
number
the
1.
safety card and take notice of the fasten seatbelt sign. May we remind you that
Wrong.
electrical portable items such as
Right,
games,
check.
computing and word processing equipment
Pressure
may
0.
interfere with the aircraft systems and must be switched off during takeoff and landing. Portable telephones must be switched off while the aircraft engine is running. As this is a no smoking service, the no smoking signs will remain on for the duration of the flight. Smoking is not permitted at any time whilst on board. If you have any questions, please ask one of the crew. Thank you.
Amazing Base, thank you as well. Yeah, thank you so much for your support.
Load
Welcome.
225 Victor,
Amazing Mace, as a new member, make sure you check out the Discord channel that we have. And there's a subscriber or membership channel, especially for you guys, where there's lots of files, including the ones that I will show you during the flight. So we're going to go to the right here.
26 via Foxtrot Hotel Mike Charlie to Echo 7.
Foxtrot Hotel Mike Charlie to Echo 7. Scanner 526.
Taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1+F.
Config 1+F. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Solowings, are you still here? I still owe you an explanation regarding the checklist point with the parking checklist regarding wing lights. The wing lights. Yeah. So the wing lights are situated here on the fuselage. Now, there apparently has been one case where in an A321 they connected the jetway to the aircraft, and decushioning from the roof of that
where are you going?
Of that jetway actually was lying on top of that wing light, on top there. And because that light gets very hot, the jetway actually caught fire.
On stands, not on the Fox.
And that's why on the parking checklist you have that that point wing light off. That's the reason behind it.
So I could disconnect here and check it out. Since my maps are of course.
No problem, thank you for flying, bye-bye.
Thanks for your help. Have a good night. Scanner 526.
Normally the wing lights only make sense on the ground during the outside check. And maybe if you remind me after landing in Sofia, I'll show you an outside check at night time, and there I can show you why it makes sense at night time to turn on the wing lights. During the flight, it doesn't really help you that much because you can't really see much from the wing section from the flight deck.
And all stations, current information Fox, correction information holster.
Right, let's check hotel. Variable 2 knots, fuel 4,500, 8 degrees, 1010 on the QNH, so no major changes. Yes, FR wave.
Bravo behind, landing lot 737, radar private runway 22 behind.
Behind the landing lot 737, runway 22, line up and wait behind, windmill 71 Bravo. It is a lot, look at that, beautiful. Cool. Line up checklist.
Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Runway 22 confirmed. Takeoff runway confirmed. Approach path clear of traffic. TCAS.
TARA.
Cabin crew be seated for takeoff.
Set and checked.
Packs 1 and 2.
Off.
Lineup checklist completed.
Okay, still on the runway. Yeah, so he's just vacating now. That looks good.
Victor, runway vacated by Alpha.
Yeah, greetings.
Bravo, runway 22, Captain. Start.
Runway 2.
Zagreb 120, bye-bye.
Wind 7 Bravo, runway 22, cleared for takeoff. Ready?
Ready.
225 Victor, welcome.
Takeoff.
Directing taxi by Fox,
Check.
Hotel Mike Charlie to stand Echo 3. Continue forward, expect the track distance.
Flex 64 SS, runway auto thrust blue.
Check. Thrust set.
Lot 522 Victor, Foxtrot Hotel Mike Charlie to stand Echo 3. Foxtrot Hotel Mike Charlie, stand Echo 3.
100 knots.
Checked.
Tower AC828 with you on stand Echo 4, Airbus 319 with hotel. QNH 1010, flight clearance to Sofia, please.
V1, rotate.
Easy 828, Zagreb. Fetch information, correct.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
6,000,
Gear up.
10.
Enough.
Clear Sofia, must have one Victor, departure via runway 22, initial climb 6,000 feet, and flight 10, AC828.
Packs on.
So, we're supposed to contact ourselves, hold on, 20.7, is that the frequency? Yeah, 20.7, fantastic. So, 20.7. Departure, good evening, Windmill 71 Bravo, passing 3,400, climbing 6,000.
Windmill 71 Bravo, very good evening, Zagreb radars identified. Proceed direct to Mossad, climb flight level 180.
Back to Mossad and climb level 180, thank you much, Windmill 71 Bravo. So we're above the sector altitude, so we can accept that. Direct, Mossad, insert.
Eugene 780, heading 040.
Sorry, sir, please bid for Eugene 780.
Eugene 780, flight heading 040.
Heading 040, Eugene 780.
Zulu 3 Delta Charlie Foxtrot, contact Zagreb Tower, run 8, smoothly, finish landing, bye bye.
So we've got thrust climb out blue, auto thrust, and 18,000.
Zagreb Tower 118, Digital 3, Baku Notch, bye bye. Baku Notch. Windmill 71 Bravo, proceed direct to Iswa, climb flight level 210.
Back to Nisva, climb level 210, Windmill 71 Bravo, thank you. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flap 0.
Adrian 780, left heading 270, clear wireless 22 report established.
It's beautiful, I have to admit. It's just... the visuals here in Microsoft are just brilliant, you know. Absolutely fascinating.
Adrian 780, left heading 270, clear wireless 22 report established.
Left heading 270, clear wireless, and we'll call you established, Adrian 780.
No, we got direct to Nisva. So initially we got direct to Mosaf, and then we got direct Nisva.
Departure will receive Sofia 52 Yankee with you. Transavia 52
No, I'm still on DX11.
Zagreb radar, set squawk 5275.
Because at DX12, I sometimes get some ground texture issues. Hey Dave! Sorry for the late call out. Dave, hello to you. Hope you're doing well.
Standard, cross-checked. Passing flight level 109.
Transavia 52 Yankee, now identified via SID flight level 200.
Now.
Checked.
SID 200.
Landing lights off. Seatbelts off.
Adrian 780, continue left heading 215 to
So Dave, it does. So if you go to EFB, and if you entered your SimBrief user ID, you can download your latest flight plan. Yeah, the same goes for the ground services stuff. The My Flight info that is loaded as well from the from SimBrief, yeah. Forward, I would need to recheck that again.
Thank you very much. Contact Zagreb Tower 118 smoothly. Have a nice landing. Bye bye.
If I say
Have a good night.
it does, then I would be just guessing. So I'm honestly, I need to check that myself again. It's not completely out of the ordinary, or it's not really impossible because.
Contact Adria Radar 130.450. Have a nice flight to Sofia. Bye bye.
130450, and you have a nice week ahead. Thank you so much for the service. Windmill 71 Bravo.
129.125. Bye bye.
So yeah, it could well be that they have their own model on the outside. However, forward.
Contact 129.125 decimal Turkish 958.
I don't know if actually that's possible to have. Yeah, so the thing is, forward. I don't know if that's actually technically possible.
Easy 8732, Unicom 128. Bye bye.
That they're feeding in a different simulation on inertia, or if it's just somehow simulated from the outside, where I don't know, they're messing about with the controls or something, so they dampen down your control inputs if the aircraft is heavier. I don't know, you can manipulate certain things from the external model. Yeah, so we'll see. I could try out again. But normally, any different field in the way the aircraft behaves, it's more a hack than actual inertia.
Roskogov, dobro večer, Adria Radar, QNH 10-14, nastavite po planu, javite visinu.
Luca, at the moment, it sounds like it that they will, yeah. Because somebody posted a comment from them at some point that they are going to go more into aerodynamics now. Right. Alpha Delta Romeo Whiskey, let's do this.
Adria radar for Airline 573.
Adria, good evening from Windmill 71 Bravo, passing 200, climbing level 210.
Windmill 71 Bravo, dobro večer, Adria Radar. Radar contact, climb flight level 370 on course to Nice.
Windmill 7 Bravo, climbing level 370 and on course to Sagan, the waypoint.
Premium flight entertainment will be served.
Nice, November, India, Sierra Victor Alpha.
Yeah, to Nice.
Togo SRS RNWY Auto Thrust
Hey,
BB 711 Gold BB 711 Gold BB 711 Gold.
Transavia 5 Yankee, dobro večer, Adria Radar contact, continue climb
Max,
flight
thank you
level
so much.
370 on
And a big
course to
shout
Nice.
out already there from Mark to Salutation Max on Twitch and on YouTube. Make sure to check his channel there. Thank you so much, Max, for the 63. Yeah, good to see you too, and I hope you're doing well. It's really kind of you to join today. I know that you're so busy. Max, from your videos, have you picked up a new aircraft? Or was that an overhaul or something? So we are logged into CPDLC. Fantastic.
Adria radar for Airline 573. Radar Malta 137 to Provnik standard level. Request taxi runway level.
Malta
Hey
137, I'm
Fabio,
closing in the next 10
is
minutes,
there any
monitoring
standard
the
turn of
command.
terrain? Well,
1228, have a nice evening.
normally one of the pilots would have terrain mode on,
Walker 2.7, ready for pushback and startup.
while the other one has
Walker
the
117, same for you,
radar
Unicom 128.
on.
Unicom 128, thanks for the
But yeah, I mean,
Cheers.
you can, if you like, switch off the terrain mode. If there's any danger of you getting close to terrain and it gets a caution, so terrain caution alert, it'll pop up automatically again. Disregard that. So yeah, you can, if you want, turn off the nav display terrain mode. But then during the approach, so one of the pilots during the approach should have the terrain mode on again in order to have a good kind of situational awareness of the terrain situation. In the updated 3D model of the Phoenix, there will be the option to remove the DCVs, really? Not really, no, Gabriel. I mean, we have some 319s that actually don't have SEPA DLC. They don't have a DCDU. So, I guess that's what they want to model. Although, as far as I know, there's an initiative in Europe that at a certain time point, all aircraft need to have SEPA DLC. I don't know which year.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo
But,
Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Yankee Victor Alpha, dobro večer,
Hey,
identified,
Greg Pete,
climb
thank you much for
level
the Twitch
170.
Prime. That's a new sub. Thank you so much, Greg Pete. Big round of applause.
Adria radar for Airline 573.
Papa Oscar, Golf, maybe spuštali na 3500 zbog oblaku.
And also, Citation Max, that was a tier 3 as well, my god. Tier 3, 63 months. Incredible. Thank you so much.
Niner Oscar Golf, odobreno 3500, QNH 1015.
Yeah, but baby Boeing, like I said, we still have an aircraft. I flew an aircraft 3 or 4 days ago that did not have SEPA DLC. And we flew at level 360, 380, so definitely RVSM. So there seems to be some exceptions still available. Or exemption.
Austrian 75, Unicom 1, to the simulator.
Radar for airplane 573.
Well, Luca, definitely. So if Asobo changes anything with regards to the flight model, that would definitely mess around with any exterior model changes or anything, any aircraft that has exterior models. They will have to readapt, and that's a lot of work, I guess. Yeah, so regarding speculation, it was really a horrific crash of that ATR. It was ATR 72, I think, in Nepal on approach. And of course,
station Adria radar is closing, monitor any combat to that flight. Bye bye.
Thank you, good night.
As always, thanks a lot, good night. So there was someone actually filmed the approach. Like, I have a feeling that every landing aircraft these days is actually filmed either on takeoff or during the approach. So from the looks of it, it kind of looks like the left wing is stalled. So it was flying and then left wing for some reason lost lift and the aircraft rolled over. Why is complete speculation at this point, so we're gonna have to wait and see what the authorities and the investigation teams find out. But horrible accident, yeah. And that was the first one this year, right? With I think it was over 40 deaths, correct? Let's just see the news here. Hey Jeremiah, guten Abend. "68 dead, oh my god, okay. 68 dead and 4 missing, okay. Okay, so, well, there was 68 passengers on board and 4 crew. Yeah, very sad indeed, yeah. So therefore should get promoted at this flight, and that her husband died. Oh, really? Oh, that's really sad as well, man. Right. It's a short flight time, so let me get into the briefing package for Sofia Airport. And we do have a payware add-on. So let's have a look at Sofia Airport. And we've got a PDF file for that as well. So again, subscribers and members have access to the subscriber channel on Discord, and you'll find this chart there as well.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Hey Christian, nice to see you, 20 months.
First class cabin, where complimentary drinks,
Thank you so much, Christian, for the 20 months. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, the Razbam F-15 Striker will be available for pre-order on the 3rd of February. Man, I need to get back more into DCS again. So, Sofia Airport is in a valley, again surrounded by higher mountains. And any airport that is, you know, located in a valley like Bilbao or Sofia will have some local specific weather phenomena. And in Sofia, it's a little bit higher located, so the elevation is... oops, let me just check here. The exact elevation...
Good evening, Airline 573, flight level 340, inbound Simba.
Uh, 1,745 feet, so... Hey, Solowings, merci. Solowings, before I go on, here's the answer. I wasn't sure if you were watching earlier on. Regarding the wing light. So, let me switch on the wing light. So... Okay, so no worries. So here's... Hang on. Very loud outside, hang on. So let me just dial the sound down a bit. So, the wing light... So the light beam goes backwards to enlighten the engine cowling and the front of the slats. Right, to check for icing. It's normally used for outside check, not really in flight that much, but more for the outside check on the ground. So you can see from the location of the lights on the A321, sometimes the door to left is being used for boarding and deboarding. So there was apparently one instance where the jetway cover, which was lying on top of the fuselage there, actually touched the wing light. And it caught fire. So the jetway caught fire, and that is why, I'm not joking, that is why you have on the parking checklist in the A320 series, you have wing light off, even though it really only applies to the A321 actually. Right, 2,000 feet to go. And Austrian Gaming Channel, hello to you as well. How are you doing? Yeah, Solwings, yeah, sorry for the late explanation, yeah. And also, yeah, you asked when we go back to DCS. I am planning to go back very soon, Solwings. So, what I would need to do is, you know, find or get an answer on what day during the week it is best for people to join a mission. Well, Luca, the thing is, from a passenger point of view, yeah, if there's no engine failure or, you know, then there's no signs of why the aircraft would you know, suddenly roll over like that. But, I mean, I've seen a couple of these crashes, you know, smaller planes, bigger planes, where one of the wings stalls. And it just looked exactly the same on that footage, so... Well, Solid Wings, what about the F4? So, is the F-15 multiplayer? Because I know the F4 is, correct? So imagine all the multiplayer aircraft coming out. Absolutely incredible. It will be, my god. I mean, the Apache was already brilliant. It's so much fun to fly shared flight than that. Yeah, there's so many aircraft coming out for DCS, right? F4, Typhoon, F-15s.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll soon be passing through the cabin with your meal. On the menu today, we have a variety of dishes, full details of which can be found in our onboard magazine in inside the seat back pockets in front of you. During the meal service, we ask that you return your seat to the upright position as a courtesy to your fellow travellers. Thank you.
I love the sounds here. Oh, and the tornado, yes. And C-130, my god. Outstar. Yeah, right, we're looking at the briefing package for Sofia Airport. So you can see the airport itself is located on the eastern part of the city. And we've got a mountain highest peak there at 7,556 feet. So it's just south of the city center. And so in winter time, so between November and February, you often have fog, low visibility. And in summertime, you have thunderstorms, which stay stationary, quite typical for the weather in these valleys. So arrivals, preferred runway for landing is runway 27, so that you avoid aircraft flying over the city. So 27 is normally used. Expect a standard out of arrival, which usually goes south from the field, or I'm not sure, it's probably north of the field when it goes 09. You can also expect radar vectors sometimes below MSA actually, and so you need to use contour layers to determine the safe altitude. Yeah, and weather permitting, that's actually pretty cool. So weather permitting, you can expect a visual approach runway 09 or 27. I've done 2 visual approaches last year onto runway 27, and they gave me the clearance. I mean, that's real life, and they gave me the clearance very early on, and so I was actually able to reach pattern altitude here at 1,500 feet above the airfield and do a completely standard visual approach. It's just absolutely gorgeous, really lovely. For the approaches themselves, nothing too special. All of them have 3-degree slopes, no offset. So preferred takeoff runway is 09. And you should be careful not to mistake the taxiway hotel for a runway. And departure procedure will be NADP 1. Gorgeous. Right, weather's clearing up. Let's have a look again if we get another ATIS message. So that was Lima still. Isla Zulu, runway 09. So that's, again, that's a very unusual runway condition there. But 120 at 5, the wind, so easterly winds, 1 degree, fairly cold, and QNH is 1017. Let's have a look. So, for practice purposes, you know what? For practice, I'm going to use the RNF approach today. So we're going to use the RMP 27. Not 27, 09, obviously. RMP 09. How do you like the Microsoft Flight Sim Flight Dynamics? Does feel well. I normally complain about the flight dynamics here in Microsoft Flight Sim. I find them, you know, not realistic. And so, if you have an add-on that doesn't have a custom-made hack, if you like, to make the flight model a little bit more realistic, then you'll have the same flight feeling for all aircraft. So it doesn't matter if you fly GA aircraft or you fly, I don't know, the 737, whatever. If it doesn't have a custom-made flight model, then yeah, it feels all the same, and it doesn't feel that realistic now. So I'm always complaining about missing inertia. So especially when you have heavier aircraft, yeah, they shouldn't be able to, you know, to pitch up and down that quickly. No way. Goat friend, so what? Somebody was live streaming from that airplane that crashed? Are you serious? There's a video of it? My god. Well, that's it. That's really, really drastic. I mean, that's terrifying. Oh, wow. 30 seconds before impact. That's gruesome. David, at the moment, I mean, I know that PDG have changed the flight model a bit. FENIX has a little bit different flight model. I think the Innibuilds has a bit of a separate flight model. Yeah, the thing is, so regarding the flight model, you have to realize that Asobo restricts the connectivity to the base of the sim quite drastically. So, so any changes are made outside of the model, and as far as I can tell, it's more a matter of dampening flight controls. So the problem there is that at higher altitude, that manipulation will be different than at lower altitude, and then in the flare of the aircraft. So in ground mode, it feels different again. So it's just really strange sometimes how the aircraft behaves, and that's what I mean with it doesn't really behave lifelike, real-like. So yeah, ground friction is that can also be a bit of a problem. Yeah. So everything seemed normal in the cabin until the stall. Okay. Try the Cessna. Which one? Sorry, which Cessna? So yeah, in the Microsoft Flight Sim, they have made a couple of aircraft, 2 or 3 aircraft, the custom aircraft, and they modeled it somewhat differently regarding the airslip and the center of gravity simulation, I think. So yeah, maybe that has. Yeah, maybe I'll try that, Christopher. Yeah. P3D soon? Yeah, I think so. The default one, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll try that again, yeah. Yeah, but was there a history of the ATR 72 flaps having the issue? Because I don't see why a flap should suddenly fail. Okay, let's do some more preparations for landing. So here you can see again that high mountain I was talking about. So if we go onto the arrival routings, and for us it's going to be the NISVA arrival, runway 09 means it's going to be this arrival route. And again, you can see that if there's not much traffic, you are very likely going to get shortcuts somewhere, which cuts off a lot of track mileage. So be ready for that, and then be aggressive with the speed brakes so that you don't get into the corner where you can't do the approach anymore. Which one do I prefer? Well, I mean, both have fantastic system simulation. Every of these two add-ons has a wonderful simulation of a full flight. So especially interaction with the MCDU, the EFB. But overall, the FS Labs still has a more mature system inclusion. So especially with GSX, for example, if you want to, you know, completely do a simulation from A to B, including passengers, etc., refueling, you name it, CPDLC, PDC, then I think all in all, FS Labs still is a bit better. The downside is that the visuals in P3D are obviously not as nice as we have here in Microsoft Flight Sim. So that's a downside there. Hey, Eagle Motion, nice to see you. How you doing? Cool to be. So whenever you see this kind of arrival routing, I really suggest you put the runway threshold into the MCU progress page. So Lima Bravo Sierra Foxtrot 09, and that way you have a good distance to the runway. ATC com, we should be offline now, shouldn't we? So connection status. Hang on. There we go, disconnect. Cool. Right, that's all done. I was going to work out the landing performance, so let's go landing. Normally there isn't much issues here with Sofia Airport. The runway is long enough. Weather is good, a little bit of tailwind maybe, and the landing weight right now is 64.2, so we're just below max landing weight there. So let's put 64 tons for landing. It'll be auto thrust off, flaps full, low auto brake, and runway is dry. So that means we require about 2,000 meters with 15% additional for the factored landing distance, 2,313, and available we have 3,600. So absolutely no problem with the landing performance. And let me see, ground charts. Taxi in, so we vacate via Echo, that's a high-speed taxi back hotel, and that's either going to be Kilo or Juliet. To the apron, and it's either this side or that side. Normally we're parked on this side, anywhere between these gates here. I have asked Senshai to include a couple of things on our website, Blackbox 711. So he's been kind enough to quickly upload some stuff. So so we do have some more interesting files there. So if you go to documents, you've got some miscellaneous documents, and for people that, for example, sometimes or quite often people ask what's LPV, and so now you can actually get a nice description. You can even download the PDF if you want, and there we go. So it kind of explains what the advantages is of the LPVs. Also, if you want to know all the abbreviations and infos on the charts, you can get that file. Gives you all the infos about the important stuff on the charts there. Right, briefing, obviously that's something we go through. We'll go through the arrival briefing in a minute. What else do we have? Let's have a look here. yeah, pro pilot tips. So we got some infos there, right? You know, what's the difference between RNF and RMP? That's something I get asked very often. So there's some background infos on that. Technical wise, lots of stuff there as well. Procedures, supplementary procedures, single engine taxi procedures, approach. And there we have our setup for the final approach guidance, which we'll use today. So that comes in quite handy. What time is it? 21, so 8 o'clock. Hopefully, yeah, tower seems to be online still. And the approach as well. And here comes our descent. So we're going to go with open descent here. We're going to go down to, let's say, 150. So thrust idle, up descent, out blue, 150. And you can see already the terrain getting higher. Look at that beautiful terrain there. Bit of haze. What a gorgeous day. Absolutely lovely. So the last info was transition level 130. Doesn't say anything about the visibility. Let's look at the METAR. No cloud, good visibility, and that was from 2000 UTC. So that's pretty good. And right, let's look at the minimums. So if we go for the RMP approach, then we have a minimum of yeah, there we go. So LNAV, VNAV minimum 2,100 category Charlie. Actually, hang on, let's hold on. Let me change that here. So arrival. RNAV 09. NISFA 4 Delta and approach via Bengo insert. D97K just had a problem while being on radar VATSIM. I actually accidentally turned on the in-game ATC, and from that on I wasn't able to talk to the control anymore. Tried different things to contact him by voice, but it didn't work out. No, is there no way that you can disconnect the Microsoft Flight Sim ATC anymore? It's kind of strange. Yeah, windmill, exactly. Yeah, thank you, Mark. So latest ATIS now is the information mic. Transition of 130, runway 09 still in use. Touchdown, no cloud, good visibility 1017. That's all stable. And it's variable 2 knots now. So now we can put in the bar row. We said it's 2,100 feet. The RNF approaches are very comfortable to use in the A320 series. There's just a couple of things you need to check. So for the RMP approach equipment requirements, you need 1 FMS, 1 GPS, 2 IR units, 1 MCDU, 1 flight director. So that's always on the flying side, obviously. And then you've got 1 prime flight display on the pilot flying side, obviously. 2 nav displays are required, and 2 flight control unit channels. So if 1 flight control unit channel fails, you can't do an RMP approach anymore. But there we go. Let's contact approach. That's going to be 23.7. Take this to below here.
And minor 780, descent altitude 7,000 feet.
Sofia approach, good evening to you, windmill 71 Bravo, passing 290, descending 150, and we have information, Mike.
Two stations at once, Oscar Echo, Oscar 71 Bravo, good evening, Sofia approach runway 5, cleared, miss for Delta arrival, expect Dallas will approach runway 09, number 5 in sequence.
Okay, that's copied. NISVA for Delta arrival number 5, and yeah, we're descending 150, and if possible later, we'd love to do the RNF approach 09.
Oscar Echo, Oscar 71 Bravo, copy, expect. For now, you can continue descent, flight level 130.
Okay, so windmill 71 Bravo is descending level 130.
Austin 7 Golf, flight level 190.
Break, Flamingo 982, position 12 miles from touchdown, contact Sofia Tower.
So weather infos, we need to make sure that we have or are within the permissible outside air temperature range. What is meant by that? Well, you check your chart and make sure that it doesn't say anything about temperature restrictions, and there it says, for example, the Baro VNAV
cleared for
not authorized
arrival for ALS
below minus 25 degrees Celsius.
Descent, flight level 170.
So today we've got 1 degree, that's no problem for us. So that is correct. Important thing is that you do not get a too steep path message between the final descent point. If you do, in the MCDU, then you can't do a final approach mode. So where is the final descent point? Oops. Final descent point is this symbol here. So Zagreb is our final descent point. So if there's any message between those two or those three waypoints, or let's say the final descent point and the runway, if it does say here too steep descent path or too steep path, then you can't use final approach mode. You have to do flight path angle. Then you check a 0.1 degree difference, maximum difference between the MCDU and the charted vertical path. 1 degree difference between the inbound track and the charted track, and 3 degree difference between the lateral track if you use a conventional nav like VOR NDV. So insert the reference runway threshold in the bearing distance field for position monitoring. We've done that, and for the go around strategy. So we've got 3 degrees, inbound track 089. Good, inbound track 3 degrees down. And one thing I always check as well is the distance between the final descent point and the runway. In this case, 7 miles. So add those two values there at 7 miles. Is
3 miles from touchdown, contact Sofia Tower 118.1, bye.
Is it still too loud? I dialed it down, so it should be alright, shouldn't it? So I'm going to start slowing down here. We are on the arrival routing, so number 5 for the approach, so we will have to fly parts of this.
Okay, travel 13, contact Sofia, control 131.225, bye.
Alright, yeah, JD, I tried to dial it down, so...
5 is head travel 13.
Yeah, it's always the problem where the other pilots have their microphones just, you know, set way too high. Right, 210 knots maximum. Strange. The flight dynamics FS Labs is fine. I mean, it's P3D has maybe a too stable flight path. Oh, let me just check.
Report indicated speed. 5 Yankee Lima, copy, maintain speed 210 or less.
So how's it now? Is that still too loud, or I can barely hear it now? Right, look at that. So,
Windmill 71 Bravo, proceed direct Sierra Foxtrot. Flight level 170.
okay. Just a second. Say again, please. You were half cut out there. Windmill 71 Bravo.
Windmill 71 Bravo, proceed direct to Sierra Foxtrot 405 and enable expedite descent until passing flight level 170.
Okay, direct Sierra Fox 405, and we'll expedite descent until passing level 170, Windmill 71 Bravo. Right, flaps 1. Just below 20,000 feet, so we can select the flaps 1 here. Careful of the speed brakes, VLS is coming up, so...
Turkish 2001, descent 6,000 feet, clear for the LDZA approach, runway 09, report established.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Forward if that message comes between the final approach point and the runway. So if the message pops up, so if there's a discontinuity here, and it says too steep path, so it'll make a line in here.
For my contact Sofia control 131.
So too steep path.
Bye bye.
131225, the GN 6 Alpha Mike. Bye bye.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Descent altitude 7,000 feet.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
So, on the arrival route, runway 09, RMP approach.
Windmill 71 Bravo, descent altitude 10,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Descent 10,000 feet, connection 1017, Windmill 71 Bravo. We checked all the waypoints. One thing to do though is the misapproach. So our approach minimum is bar road 2100 feet. Missed approach goes towards Sierra Foxtrot 450.
885, approaching flight level 215 down to flight level 1 feet.
Then right to turn at 4,500. Back to the VUR. And climb 8,000, enter the hold and climb to 10,000 or as directed.
Say again, Fabrigator 885, transmission will block.
Climb with 885, cleared on pit for the auto arrival, expect LDZA runway 09.
And the extra fuel
right now for Zulu 0985, thank you.
Is about half an hour extra fuel. And the sectors, briefed that before. So 86 and then 61.
I'm great, 85 negative for now, 150.
885.
Transavia 52 Yankee, descent.
We'll fly the approach, fully managed, final approach mode, flaps full, auto brake low.
Turkish 2001, position 13 miles from touchdown, contact tower 118.1.
We have a stop margin of about, well, more than 1,000 meters, so no problem whatsoever.
Turk 5 Yankee Golf, descent 6,000 feet, speed 190 knots or less, and clear for the LDZA approach, runway 09, report established.
So position height is, just check here, that's 360.
Speed is 19 or less, and clear for LDZA approach for
2,100, transition 3,000, non-precision approach, runway threats terrain, arrival airport altitude is 1740, continental mode, there we go. Any questions?
No questions.
Right, so seatbelts on.
Windmill 71 Bravo, proceed direct to Bengal, descent altitude 8,000 feet.
Back to Bengo and descent 8,000, windmill 71 Bravo. So that's what I mean, you do get some shortcuts. So now what I do is I look at the progress page. We have 24 miles and we have to lose about 10,000 feet still. So we do have a little turn, but I'm still going to use some speed brakes here. And we have 8,000. Set QNH. So we'll check the required RMP is going to be 0.3 during the approach on both sides, and we have GPS primary with accuracy high. So that's the nav accuracy check during the descent. If that's not satisfactory, so if it would be low, so if it says low there,
Bravo, do you have visual ground contact?
affirm, windmill 7 Bravo.
Windmill 71 Bravo, visual descent altitude 6,000 feet, clear for the RMP approach runway Airline, report final track.
Thank you much, visual descent 6,000, cleared for the RMP 09. I call you on final track, windmill 7 on Bravo. Right, so 6,000. It's going to be below MSA, but he said visual according to the terrain.
Descend to altitude 8,000 feet and reduce speed.
So now I'm going to go speed descend out blue.
Austrian 7 Golf.
And Austrian 7 Golf, QNH 1017.
QNH 1017, Austrian 7 Golf.
Transavia 52 Yankee, descent altitude 10,000 feet, QNH 1017.
So, final descent point. So Bengo, then Luxor, so 6-1 Luxor, we go down to 4-1. And then to Zagreb, and then we descend on the RMP approach. Look at the terrain, isn't that beautiful? And that's the mountain we talked about, 7,500 feet.
Sofia Tower 118.1, bye-bye.
There's the runway, absolutely lovely. We've got a bit of tailwind, so we've got to monitor that. So I'm going to go speed managed here. And the approach phase is now active. We've got a VDEF bar.
Golf, descent altitude 7,000 feet.
Descend to altitude 7,000 feet, Austrian 7
So 7,000 above, we've got that. So let's go vertical speed. Yeah, it's going to be fairly spicy with that tailwind. Not that unusual, to be fair. Hey Dave. Yeah, I mean, I've approached Sofia many times with tailwind on final, and then that kind of died down towards the runway. So 6-1 above, that's no issue anymore. So we're going to go 4,100 now. We're cleared for the approach. And remember that once we are inbound to the final ascent point, we can arm the final approach mode.
Austrian 7 Golf, cancel speed restrictions.
Cancel speed restrictions, Austrian 7 Golf.
Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
And remember, we have to be at the final approach point altitude to start the final approach. That's really important. So we have to have the 4,100 there. Ground speed is still very high.
Golf, do you have visual ground contact?
Affirm.
Austrian, don't distance visually 6,000 feet here for the others to approach from wave 29 report established.
Descent 6,000 feet visually, cleared for the ILS Zulu 09er. Report established. Austin 7 go.
Transavia 52 Yankee, radio speed 220 knots or less, and descent altitude 8,000 feet.
220 less than 8,000 feet, Transavia 5 thinking.
Windmill 7 Bravo is on the final track towards the Zagreb point.
Windmill 71 Bravo, position 12 miles from touchdown, contact Sofia Tower 118 S1, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Contacting Tower 18.1, Windmill 71 Bravo. Thank you. So do we have ground? No. So, Sofia Tower, good evening. Windmill 71 Bravo on the RP09.
Radar altimeter alive.
Correction. 71 Bravo, continue approach runway 09.
Continue approach, Windmill 71 Bravo. Thank you. Gear down.
Gear down. Cabin crew, be seated for landing.
Flaps free.
Speed checked.
Right onto Echo, taxi.
Flaps free.
13 via Echo Hotel Juliet.
So out star. We inbound, final approach mode. So approach nav or up nav, final blue. So we've got the blue descent arrow. That looks good. So just monitor now. The final approach mode is just engaged and missed approach at 10,000. Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
You are clear to land on 090 winds 160 at 3 knots.
Clear to land 09 Windmill 71 Bravo. Thank you. Approach checklist.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1017 set.
1017 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
Bar row 2100 feet. Set and checked.
Auto brake.
Low set. Set and checked.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
No, you don't use both autopilots. No, if you press the other autopilot, it'll switch the autopilot channel. It's not an auto land, so that's why. Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the outside view here a little bit longer. Look at that. Right over the city. The voice is a new voice set from FS, so FS2 crew. Right, manual thrust.
1000.
Checked, we're stable, clear to land. The wind now, headwind 7 knots, look at that.
1000.
Checked. Manual flight. So, since we're doing a final approach mode approach, we can leave the crossbar on until, well, unless it doesn't make any sense anymore, then we switch it off, but otherwise we can leave it on as a guidance. Once we reach the missed approach point, it'll revert to heading at vertical speed. The scenery looks really good, I love it. Really nice.
100 above.
100 above. 400.
Checked.
Minimums.
Continue.
Minimum.
Sofia Tower, good evening, Oscar 7 Golf. Fully established RS.
Austrian 7 Golf, continue approach runway
200.
Continue approach. Austin 7.
100. 50. 40. 20. Retard.
Ouch.
Spoilers, reverse green, decel. $70 knots.
Auto brake off. So these days we have an automatic call out. When we switch off the auto brake, it's a really loud.
Bravo, welcome to Sofia. Next flight onto Echo, taxi stand 14 via Echo Hotel Juliet.
Echo Hotel Juliet, stand 14. Thank you so much, Windmill 71 Bravo.
Austrian 7 Golf, you're clear to land runway 09, winds 160 at 3 knots.
Clear to land, runway 09er, Austrian 7 Golf.
Yeah, Athamico, so that's why we normally brief that. You know, in this case, the triple click will come at 50 feet or at the threshold of the runway. The landing rate, all right. Positive, I would say.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and the entire crew, we'd like to welcome
Good
you
night.
to our destination.
Voyager, thanks for watching.
For your
Mach's gut.
safety, please remain seated with your
Ja, auch
seatbelt
dir eine schöne Woche.
fastened, leaving all items and hand luggage safely closed, belt signs and switched off. Before you leave the aircraft, please ensure you have all your personal items and
So
hand
let's check
luggage.
the routing for
Be careful when
taxiing.
opening overhead lockers as items
So
may fall
Echo
out.
Hotel
We'd like to remind you that smoking
Juliet,
is not permitted
and then
until
stand
you reach the
14,
smoking area.
which is there. It's an apron position.
Sofia,
Interesting.
good evening. This is the GM2590. Stand Pakistan number 4, information of emergency 1017, West I-Pass there.
Please follow the signs to flight connection. This will lead you on to your departure terminal, and please check your gate number in the departure lounge.
After landing
Avoid
checklist.
missing your onward flight.
Radar
Use
and
your
predictive
radar
wind
set
shear
that
system.
goes straight to your
Off.
departure terminal.
After landing checklist completed.
If you do not have a boarding card, please go directly to the flight connections desk. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire airline, thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you.
H590.
Hey, Jim 2. Platform me 1 more time.
We go. 590.
There were 2? Really? Right, 2 airplanes on final, lovely. Right, there's an EG in there, lovely. And so that's Kilo, I think, and next one then will be, yeah, that's Kilo here. Next one will be Juliet. Yeah, Flying Paul, good point. That's a good reminder.
2590. Now you must
We're just waiting for 3 minutes cooldown, which we should have now. APU is available. So let me see if we can trigger that.
Roger.
Initial climb is flight level
Shutdown engine 2.
and squawk 4721.
I'll have to do that myself.
Again at 590. Say again the departure, please.
So we switch off engine number 2, and then we make sure that we have the yellow ilic pump on, and that way we have a backup hydraulic system in case the other engine fails now.
Again to 590. Would that be Gokek Messera?
So if we didn't have the yellow ilic pump running, that yellow system would now deplete in pressure, and then we only have the green system for the braking.
Okay, so clear destination. Yeah, Gokek.
And so just that you have a backup source for the alternate braking system. That's why you switch on the yellow ilic pump there.
Break. Austria, correction. 590, clear time on 09 Austrian Telegraph, taxi to stand number 2.
So 14.
Via Hotel Q and Lima to
Is there
stand
so much
number 2,
traffic there? Ah.
Adrian 2590, just to confirm, our departure is Echo 5 Sierra.
No, I have a feeling that it's actually going uphill quite steeply here. That's why.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's going uphill.
Sofia Tower, добрый вечер, Follow 885 on RX 098 miles.
Double Retro 5 together, 885, clear approach 109, a second line, minimal approach sheet, please.
Minimum approach 885.
Could the no. The APU does not have enough thrust. So just seeing someone land there, and then someone close behind that as well. Oh, he's going around. Whoa!
Follow procedure, contact departure 1317.
Follow procedure and over to departure 15.
Hello there, good evening, ground tower, sorry, this is Fine Bulgaria 001 and stand 14. We have information November on board request IFR to Varna.
Okay, 001, stand by, very good break. Fine Bulgaria 885, clear to land runway 09, wind 160 knots.
Yeah, they have a Lufthansa Technic there, yeah.
Fine Bulgaria 001, you are cleared out for current to Varna via the Glamour Free Air departure runway 09. Initial climb
I think we missed 14 there.
Can you repeat our transmission please slowly because earlier?
Yeah, Wingflex, I've been flying here many times to Sofia in real life. Yeah. Do you think that the ILS eventually will be replaced by GPS-based approaches? Well, it seems like it. It just takes a lot longer than I think a lot of people expected.
Clear to destination Varna via Gold
Kind of weird.
One confirm initial climb flight level 2 procedure.
Who knows? I may have parked the wrong way. I've never parked here, so I don't even know which way. Right, parking brake set. Important thing is switch off the yellow ilic pump, AP bleed on, and then switch off the other engine.
GM2590, tank number 4 request. And
good night.
Lilo, take care. Good night to you. Thank you so much. So GPS approaches definitely is the future, especially when you have the option to go with curved approaches at some point. Oh, there we go. Someone else just landing.
Start up,
there we go. That's a nice landing. GG.
North, Canadian 1017, GM25.
Yeah, so Sapphire Wave, that's something where you have to find a solution for that. That is a very good point. The fact that GPS signals still can be jammed from outside means that you need some alternative procedures. And also GPS landing systems at the moment
Sofia, take the next right on
They should be technically
to stand number 7
able to do autolands.
Hold Juliet November to stand 7885, thank you.
And I know for a fact that the GBAS approaches has been demonstrated for autolands, but they're not being completely authorized yet for autolands. So that's something that has to be done as well before you can think about switching off ILS beams. So the question, but there it goes. If you're flying with a one engine or out or taxiing, do you still use both thrust levers? No, Gabriel, I don't. I mean, there's no harm if you do, but I don't. And the reason is that way I know, which engine is the running engine. The same goes when I have an engine failure during flight. So let's say I'm flying a simulator mission and I have an engine failure. There's pilots that use both thrust levers, even though one of the engines is switched off. I always use only the thrust lever of the running engine. I just feel more comfortable that way. So then, for example, when I do a missed approach and I advance that throttle, I know it's the left throttle, and I have to add left rudder to keep the aircraft straight. Parking checklist.
Parking brakes or chocks.
Parking brake set. Set and checked.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Flying Paul, it is a big apron. I can tell you that a long time ago when I was a first officer, that new terminal there, that wasn't even built back then. So when I was first time to Sofia, it was just this terminal here, and people deboarded via stairs and just walked to the apron there, or to the terminal. So that was the old original airport, and it was very exotic back then when I flew there the first time. So now these days the low costers I think are stationed here, and you see lots of low cost airlines on the apron. Yeah, and these are the normal terminals now, jetways. Okay, basic. Right, yeah, so this is the airport. Again, I like the airport. I like flying to Sofia. Sofia itself is a beautiful city. On the 737 we had lots of rotations with the day off in Sofia. You could go hiking up that mountain there. So really cool, nice stop. And the approach again, the approach is
Holding point Bravo 1, runway 09.
always interesting, challenging. In summertime, you get lots of up and down drafts, so lots of thermals. GPS, so ILS can be jammed in many ways. Easy. Well, I mean, but area-wise, so I've always feel that area-wise, you know, let's say in the you know, in the Middle East right now, it's just such vast areas that are jammed with the GPS signals. So, ha, the Miko, I know, right? You love hiking, yeah. Yes, Nick. Yeah, so Lufthansa does have a maintenance station here. Yeah, they do have. I don't know what checks they do here. If it's the bigger checks for the A320 series or something, I would imagine so. But yeah, and you find one in Budapest as well. So Budapest airport also has a maintenance station. Let me see if I have the add-on here. No, so this is a payware add-on, Solerk. So airport is payware. Okay. Yeah. Well, there we go. I mean, but Toto, so what do you think? What's keeping the advance then regarding RNF or RNP approaches? Why is it taking so long? Why do we still have ILS? And when can we expect the ILS to be switched off? If you would have to choose now for an ab initio program, Condor or European flight attendant, why? As far as I can see, Paul, is that Condor gives you, I think they're actually paying you for the complete training. So the IFA, you have to pay 105,000 euros yourself, and the only guarantee that you have is that you get a contract afterwards, but you don't know which airline. So you could get a low-paying. That's standard airport. That's not payware. So unfortunately, yeah, I know. So over here on this side, so on this side you also have Lufthansa maintenance hangars there. So usually that's the tower building there normally. Yeah, so definitely there's lots of airports where. What a horrible weather here! Good God. Really, you have to still pay 95,000. I thought it's they pay for it now. Oh, I didn't know that. Because I heard that they would now finance the training completely. Oh, I know lots of cities around Europe. Yeah, I've been to many. Toto says you cannot predict the future. I can tell that the ILS is well understood. Nearly every aircraft is equipped for it. It's good enough. GBAS itself costly, and very few aircraft are equipped for it. Direction of the industry seems to be more towards SBAS. Cheaper to operate, still gives 94%. Okay, yeah. Okay, so flying Paul. Let's go through this. So Condor has short-range aircraft. Right, and it has also the A330 now, long-range aircraft. So, so definitely more options now. So, and I would think your chances of getting a contract after training are very good with the Condor. The European Flight Academy is a mixed bag in a sense that you don't really know where you'll end up, because you can literally be given a contract with Brussels, Austrian, Eurowings, Discover, Ocean, Swiss, and Lufthansa, but very unlikely at the moment, I think, over the next years, because from what I can tell that they are actually making the Lufthansa company smaller and smaller and smaller, and they are, you know, especially short range, they are more and more outsourcing towards Eurowings, and so I don't know about the contracts, and I don't know what the chances would be later on then for you to even get into a long range aircraft. Yeah. So flying Paul, the advice that I would give you is look at the contracts and you know, take your time and go through all the little details in that contract, and maybe even take a I don't know, a lawyer for that, just to make sure that there's no loopholes, anything that will backfire. KLM is also looking for new pilots. Well, I mean, Yoda, you know, I think every larger airline, be it low cost or, you know, traditional airline, they're going to be scrambling to get new pilots. Securing the aircraft checklist.
Oxygen.
Off.
Emergency exit lights.
Off.
EFBs.
Off.
Batteries.
Off.
Securing the aircraft checklist completed.
Right, so make sure that we see the X's in the APU page, because as long as the APU is running down and you don't see the X's, so the FADEC hasn't powered down, the oil scavenge line is still open. The moment you switch off the battery power, the scavenge line closes, and so all of the excess oil that's still in the APU itself can't drain into the sump. And then if the mechanic check the oil level, then you know, they may say, oh, it's actually low on fuel, low on oil, and then they refill the oil from the APU, and then the next pilots that switch on the APU, the battery power, and the valve opens again for the drain, it actually overfills, and excess oil will get into the bleed system. So that's why we wait until we have that those X's appear, and then we can switch off the aircraft to power it down. How do I get outside? So toggle button. How? Clear. Let's do. Is that clear? Huh? How do I get back inside? Good lord. I think I can't. It's raining! I'm getting wet! Oh no. Toggle button. Clear. Can't get back inside. Oh no. Can't reach that button. Right. That's it. We're getting wet. We can't get back inside. I'm sorry. Alright, anyways, guys. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting. The next stream's on Tuesday. And I think we'll go through some failure. But I'm also looking for someone maybe to fly a shared flight. Challenger, maybe. I mean, you know, I'm open for it. Anybody brave enough. So how good is the FENIX compared to FS Labs? Well, like I said, it's, the FS Labs is still more mature. So the overall product, so you know, all things considered, the FS Labs is still better. But I do agree that you know, visually wise, P3D is just outdated. So it's hard if you've enjoyed Microsoft already to go back into P3D. Mark, come on. Brave but no skill. Not brave, no skill. Good lord. All right, yeah, guys, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll find something interesting to do. Always open for suggestions, obviously. But who knows? I actually, you know what? I actually think we'll go back on the 787 for a flight next week. And also maybe into DCS. Yeah, we got a couple of days streaming time next week, so good night, everyone. Lee, all the best to you as well. Thank you, my dear moderators, as always, for looking over the chat. Oh yeah, 737 Max. Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, why not? Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night. Take care.